outside the network or that is operating outside the cluster A network and is able to tap into a bigger network. This is saying, don't, we have the silo mentality for individual. We also have the silo mentality for a group of people. It is only about your group. It's only about your network. It's we are this, we are that. Please be open enough to interact with other networks. Here, you can leverage huge opportunity. You can leverage a whole lot. So the question is, how many networks outside your network are you networking? Are you leveraging? Are you able to interact with? Do you at all, you say you are an engineering student or you were an engineering student, did you interact with the law people? Did you interact with the people in accounting? Did you interact with people in medicine? So things like that, by being outside the accounting team and leveraging the legal team, for example, you tap into that network by just one person linking you to the whole of that network. So there's so much we can get. And amongst a network, there are other sub-networks. So let us know that our network does not end there. If we are able to do the right thing and we have trust and we maintain social norm, somebody will be willing to introduce you to another network, and that other network might be far more valuable than the money that you think you can get from your network. Okay, participating in network, I will jump that. Let me just move on. The social capital web. Okay, so we look at some things, sense of belonging, network. I've spoken to a lot of all this, so I'm not going to spend time here today. I'm also conscious of time. Now, this is looking at some of the variables also to look at: trust, fairness, equity, social trust, honesty and reliability, moral standard and human values, and our social network. This is very key. Now, I want to talk about moral standard and human values. The truth again is the fact that everybody is under pressure. Everybody have a need or the other. The question here that I want us to answer as we discuss is, are you putting your own in such a way that you no longer think that other people have challenges? Growing up then, I don't know how many people were in that shoe, but I think I was one of those in that shoe that believed that either our uncle, our brother, our nephew, or somebody somewhere was not as generous as we thought he should be because he didn't give us all the things we needed. We perceive that person to have everything, but yet when we go asking, we don't get everything from that person. So we conclude this uncle is a wicked person, this auntie is a wicked person, and all that. But I'm sure today the story is different. Some of us will be able to look at our own situation and look at the pressure that is coming, especially if you in a situation like we are in Africa today, you have some economic advantage over a few other people. You discover that there is so much pressure, what I call the pressure web. One person at the middle with 10 different people or even 20 different people asking, putting pressure. Family member, old school association friend from primary, old school association friend from secondary, former colleague that is no longer with you, if you belong to a religious organization, the community where you live in, just name it. It just continues to go and go on. And you are the middle. Now, what everybody is doing, they see only themselves. They don't see other people putting the pressure on them, on you. So Andrew is saying, I need only 50,000. Why can't Peter help me? It's only 50,000. But there is also a Paul. There is a Stephen that is asking either 20,000 or 100,000 or 500,000, as the case may be. So at the end of the day, Andrew, or whatsoever the name is at the middle, is having the pressure from different people, and it might not be able to satisfy those people. Now, if it is just only once, maybe it will be tolerable. But some of these are repeatable, or they are repeated from time to time. Some keep coming back and coming back. What you are doing is you are putting pressure on your social network, and you might invariably be destroying your social capital. Social capital as a system of HRO practices can support the sustainability of the competitive advantage created through intra-organizational network. Now, HR practices are beginning to know that, see, it's not just enough to go through the letters and what is written. We have to be able to understand the people. We have to be able to create a network beyond the office environment, a sustainable one where people can interact. Beyond the four walls, people have life. Let people be able to interact. Now, in all this that we are saying, there are also some challenges that exist in social capital, or in social network rather. Some of these challenges is that some people are excluded from some social network. I've spoken to that. You focus only on your social network. There are excess demand on group members. These are some challenges. Oh, Mr. Paul is now the Minister of Works, and he belongs to this association, 2000 Graduate Association, and everybody thinks that Mr. Paul must solve their financial problem. You are not helping Mr. Paul. How do you make that association work well? It's by saying how you can add value to Mr. Paul and not. That's the reason why most of our politicians today fail, because there's so much financial pressure. It's not an excuse. People should be able to have the strength of character to say no to what they cannot do. But at times it's difficult because there's so much pressure from every angle. There are restrictions of individual freedoms. People are not able to talk. People are not free to attend the association meetings or show up again because somebody somewhere, one lagbaja is going to come, run after them, go and wait for them in the car to make the demand. Please, the fact that we belong to the same social group and one person has and the other person does not have doesn't mean that we should no longer have personal and self-dignity. We should. Somebody was sharing with me how he traveled abroad and he was in a trail and in a tube, right? And saw somebody, a lady that was somehow feeling depressed, and approached that person. And what was the issue? So, more like she lost her funds, and that was really bad, and mentioned so many things. So it's like everything was just accumulating together. And the person feeling, a Nigerian in a Western land, in Western region, feeling pity for that person, decided to say, okay, fine. As we get this, okay, fine. After talking and sharing and all that, put his hand in the pocket to offer the person help. The person said, oh, sorry, I don't want it. Thank you very much. The fact that we could talk is just enough. I don't want your money. That is dignity. Somebody saying that, see, I have a challenge, but my challenge is for me to solve. That is the mindset. It's not that you now put your financial challenge so much on members of your social network that they are hiding from you. They can no longer pick your call. You cannot attend the function because you will find a way to corner them and put financial pressure. Let me also say that members of social network are there to help and to support. It's something that comes naturally, but let us leave it to discretion more than to pressure. All right. Why do certain individuals and businesses, do better than others when it comes to social network? Value perception, where somebody perceive you as a value driver, they will gravitate towards you. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. Growing up, then we joined different groups in church and do a lot of things. There was this particular thing about joining groups. And we realized that members of, groups like the choristers, like the drama and all that, they always have more people than some groups that are not visible most times. And somebody concluded, he said, see, everybody wants to join the winning team. When they see the choristers come out, dressed up, singing those beautiful songs, you want to belong to them. You want to join them. So there's this thing of wanting to join the winning team every now and then. When people act that blockbuster movie, you want to be a part of it. You want to be a star. You want to be there. So it's the same thing. When you have that value, when people perceive value from you, your social network, they will run to you. Now, let me also say this. The fact that you are in a social network, it might not pay you immediately. It might be 5 years before you realize a value. You might have a real need for that capital. At times, it might be 10 years, but just continue to do the right thing. Like my mentor would say, you cannot continue to do the right thing and end up with the wrong result. Don't be too quick to extract, as it is. Create a value. Be perceived as a valuable person. whether it's your business, be perceived as a business that does the right thing, that add value to other people. Cognitive alignment. Know, value, and appropriately deploy your social capital. Number one, know who your social network members are, what they represent. Value them, respect them. Don't be a nuisance in the midst of them. Then appropriately deploy them. So you have somebody in your social network that can connect you to billions. And here you are busy running after 50,000. And when that real opportunity now comes, where you need that person, that social capital, to link you and to connect you, the person is either not picking your call, it's not visible to you, you are not able to visit the person because you have destroyed that capital. Let us know that no matter the challenge we face or the things that we do, it is our responsibility to solve and to, for those that are Christians, pray and ask God to give you wisdom to solve it. Don't put it on another person. Social network is not a place where you dump your problems on other people. It's a place where we share ideas and we support each other discretionally and voluntarily. Let that be a guiding principle. The never enough mentality. When you have the never enough mentality, you think you cannot do it. So you're in a social network. Anytime they want to do something that is novel, you say, no, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough money. I cannot contribute. The never enough mentality. It doesn't end. When you are known like that and you are perceived like that, people conclude. So when good opportunity also comes, there is a possibility that you might not also be called upon because you are a Mr. Never Enough. The scarcity victim. You put your problem on your forehead. You come with a victim mentality. You don't carry yourself with confidence. You might not be able to actually succeed using your social capital. Then we all have the possibility to either be good or bad. The path we choose to act on is who we really are. So let us choose. It's a choice whether to be good members of a social community or to be bad. But I think I would counsel that you be the good one. Go and find out what are the things that I need to do to add value to my people, to my team, and to my association. Be consistently consistent. I want to say that. Be consistently consistent. What you were known for 5 years ago, don't change it because life has dealt with you. You're a man of integrity. You're a man of professionalism, of character. Because over the past 5 years, you have suffered, you have struggled. You are now trying to align to other people. That might just be the time that somebody is landing one big contract somewhere and is looking for who he can trust, who she can trust, who she can deal with, who he can deal with. And all of a sudden, you come up and you destroy all the social capital you have built over the years. Just start with what you have. Start with what you have and where you are. Don't wait for the perfect storm before you start doing what you are supposed to do. You see, some people might not patronize you or do business with you when you just start, but they know that you are doing business. When the right time comes, they will call upon you. Don't start a business because you think that only members from your social network will patronize you. And because they are not patronizing you when you started, you give up. No, you are missing it. When you stay with that thing long enough, people will soon realize that you are the person that does that thing and come back to you again for patronage. So be consistent with what you are doing. Start where you are. Start doing it. So somebody wants to start a business and he's saying, oh, Mr. Lagbaja must connect me to this. And if he doesn't connect, you close that business. No, you are not doing the right thing. Start. The world is big enough for you to shine. Don't destroy your social capital. Avoid the following. Avoid the temptation for instant gratification. Instant gratification. The fact that there is somebody that is empowered in your social network doesn't mean that that person must favor you today. That person must give you contract. That person must connect you. Just be a value driver. When the time comes, it might even be many years after the person has left that position. It might even be a long time after the person has long forgotten that he ever acted in a particular office. Just be that value driver, and you will be able to secure the best of your social capital. Don't abuse proximity. The fact that you have the person's phone number, Instagram address, Twitter, and all that doesn't mean that you should abuse that proximity. I just call you. I just say hello. Nothing more. Every day you are just saying hello to someone that's supposed to be busy. You are posting WhatsApp that are not relevant to what the person is doing. You are destroying social capital. You are abusing proximity. The fact that you have access to somebody doesn't mean you must always. Oh, there are so many people that God has brought to my life today. Privilege, opportunity. I don't just send information. I don't just access them. No, I respect their time. I respect their space. I respect their lack of messages that hit their phone. I want a situation whereby when they see my message, they think it's important. When you post every kind of information, not relevant and irrelevant, when the relevant one comes, the person might not. When you just call to say hello all the time, when you have a need, the person might not pick your call. So this meeting today is to push you, is to challenge you to be the best amongst your social network, to be the best, to exploit your social capital, because a social capital. So many people have started business without having money. Somebody just introduced them. Somebody stood as a guarantor for them. Somebody signed on their behalf. Somebody introduced them to somebody that introduced them to something that they are living on. They maintain your dignity. I've talked about that. And patience is a virtue. Be patient with the people in your social network, even when they are not patronizing today. How to leverage your social capital. Number one, take advantage of timing opportunity. There is time for everything. Take advantage of timing opportunity. Bring in the energy. Don't be a sucker. Don't be somebody that come and complain. Nobody wants to live or stay around people that complain. People want energy. You know, you bring that energy. You are the one that bring life into the meeting, into the association. People want to identify with such people. Be emotionally intelligent. Now, emotional intelligence is key in your social capital. Self-awareness, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, your drives, your value, and the impact on others. What you do affects members of your social capital or your social network. So you have to respect them. Self-regulation. Even though you are under pressure, it's not every time you go to that Mr. Lagbaja to knock at the door. I'm not saying you should not when there is real genuine need, but it should not be too free. You might just be abusing proximity. Motivation, be self-motivated. Be discussing the next thing you are doing. Be asking relevant questions that will help you. Don't forget, I am focusing more on the intangible part of the resources of social capital today. Those intangible parts. Be empathetic. Understanding others' makeup. Know that the fact that you want things like this and the other person did not respond like that doesn't mean that the person, does not respect or value you. It might just be the state of the person at that particular time. Social skills, building healthy rapport with others. Some people, they are cantankerous. They want to prove that they know. Even when they are talking to the person that really know, they want to prove that they know. So don't be that person that is very quarrelsome. Don't be too position conscious also. It robs you of the freedom and opportunity to truly tap into the ingenuity of your social network. I will be drawing to a close now, but I want to say this. Life evolves. You should too. Things does not stay one way. Some people don't respect people, because of what they know them for yesterday. Things can change. That driver can become an MD. That guy that you think never was serious can become the senator tomorrow. Respect people. Now, what I have done here is to pick up some pictures. This is first Mercedes-Benz made, by Charles Benz in 1886. It didn't look like it was going anywhere. If you look at it from the lens of today, this was not beautiful. This was not appealing, but it was a starting point. Many people are in this stage of their lives today. They are like this Mercedes-Benz in 1886. So don't undermine people. Don't disrespect people because they don't drive the kind of car you drive, live in the same estate that you live in, go on holiday in the same country where you go on holiday. Don't undermine people. Respect everybody because life does evolve. Oh, look at this in the 60s and 80s. That same Mercedes Benz has changed a little bit. This is how people are moving. Some people have moved from that 1886 Mercedes Benz to this 60s and 80s Benz today. They might still be in transit. This might not be their full stop. And somebody is looking at them and saying, this is the best they can get to. No, you might just be destroying social capital. Oh, yes, I have had situations where people that knew me in my growing days as a teenager and all the things that I went through, you know, showed up in some places and they couldn't believe I was the one that was there. I mean, they just could not come to terms with it because they did not look like the me that they saw, you know, in the 90s. So the truth is this: we need to be able to rather 80s and early 90s. So I'm not saying I'm old, but I know that I've seen some Mercedes-Benz makes as well. So don't underlook people. You also that is listening to me, you might be this Mercedes-Benz in transit. This might be your second level. Don't give up because members of your social capital or your social network, rather, they have moved on. No, just continue the process. Look at this. This is 2016. You know, it has changed totally. The Benz has changed. The driver is now a manager. Oh, the conductor is now a business owner. Oh, the seller, the petty seller is now an owner of a chain of business. Things does evolve. For you to exploit the benefit of your social capital, you must respect people at every given time. And also yourself. Don't evaluate yourself. Let me go back a little bit. Don't judge yourself like this and think you will stop here. No, please move on to this place. Move on to this place. And this is another brand of Mercedes Benz, the G-Wagon in 1976. I'm not going to spend time on this because it means the same thing. This is 2017. It has changed. Things are changing. You don't know who will help you. This is the first plane that was ever made by the Wright brothers in 1903. What do you see? An Airbus 380. This is amazing. Things do change. Things do change. Members of social network change. The capital that people bring to social network also change. You be that person that have made up your mind to bring value, to transition from the 1903 plane to the 2020 plane. All right? You be that person that has moved on and said things will change. Okay, now I will say this, that no matter where you are today, let us learn to build social network and exploit, you know, and maximize the capital. Especially because many of us are relocating out of this country today and we are living lives of silo. Have you seen the Jews? Have you seen the Asians? When they get to any community, they come quickly together. See, no matter how rich you are as an individual, you cannot be richer or bigger than the community. I want to challenge our friends that are offshore, especially those in Canada, in the United Kingdom, and in the United States, and other parts of the country or the world where we are gathering. Let us build healthy social teams. Let us join a social network. You know, for Africans, it's sometimes very difficult for us to come together. See, the truth is this: you cannot achieve so much if you live alone. Try as much as possible. You belong to a social team and bring the value in. And if it doesn't exist, I challenge you today. Champion it, because there is so much value we can get. Look at that web I gave earlier. That's A and B web. One person can connect you to the person you really need. There was something I was doing of recent. I needed to reach out to somebody up there, you know, and all I just needed to do was to call one person that knows another person. And within 3 sets of people, I was there already. I was able to reach out. There's this saying that before you go through 5 or 6 levels, as I think research actually says level 6, is the 6th step, there is nobody you cannot reach out to. There is nobody before you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's nobody in this world you cannot reach out to. I can count, you know, if you know somebody that knows a local government chairman, the local government chairman knows a governor, the governor knows the president knows the ambassador to the United States. You can actually be with Joe Biden. So there are so many steps. At times it's 3, but usually not more than 6. In every 6 linkages, you can reach anybody in the world that you want to reach. So that's the reason why I want to challenge us to build those social capital. Let me close with the words of Theodore Rooseve. He says, "It is not the critics who count, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that this place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat." So you that is there, we have different challenges. There are so many things we have seen. There are so many people we have engaged. There are so many things we have gone through. This life is not trying to say that because you have done ABC or some people are better. No, all of us are fighting battles at different levels and different stages. But I'm saying that wherever you find yourself, whatsoever you see yourself doing, you can always bring value to it. You can always bring that energy to it. You can always make it better than it is. Please let us embrace the things that will make life better for us by tapping into differences. I'm here to give credit to the many people, and I will say thank you at this moment. I'll take a few questions. Thank you. Daniel?